guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing one of my most requested DIYs, and today we're going to be making some pants. So I have this pair of orange pants that you guys have seen me wear a few times, and every time I wear them, everybody always wants a DIY on them. So I went to Joann's and I found this really pretty gingham fabric. So I'm going to be making a new pair out of this, and I'm really excited about them. They're going to be a slightly different design from my orange pair. They're not going to have any pleating in the front. And for this project, I got 2.5 yards of this fabric. But something to note about it is the width is actually very small. This is not like a standard size. And this fabric is pretty light and it doesn't have any stretch to it. And I will link it in the description box if you guys want to buy the same one. And pants are one of those things that are pretty tricky to sew. Getting the fit just right can be kind of a challenge sometimes. So a lot of it is just kind of like pinning it on yourself and trial and error. So I really encourage you guys to give these a shot even if you're a little unsure about them. But I'm really excited about this pair and I really hope they turn out cute. So I think it's time to get working on them. Because I'm working with the gingham fabric, I tried my absolute best to match up all of the lines, because this way when we cut out the pieces, they're going to be exactly the same. So it'll be a little bit easier to match up the lines later in the process. And then after everything was matched up, I measured and cut out all my pieces. So here is the front piece, and these are the measurements, and this looks pretty confusing, but we're going to be adjusting these pieces on ourselves as well, so if it's not perfect, don't worry too much about it. And this little cutout at the front is where the pocket's going to go. So you're going to take a rectangle of fabric and trace out that same curve at the top, and then you're going to take another rectangle of fabric, and when you put these all together, they should kind of complete the shape of the pants. And here's what those pieces look separately. And you can follow my measurements, or you can kind of trace it off of the front pants piece that we already cut out. Here is the back of the pants, and this one is pretty similar to the front of the pants. This piece is just a little bit simplified and a little bit bigger. And this piece here is the waistband piece, and you just want to cut this like a really big rectangle. It's not that particular. And these pieces are the fly-in pocket pieces, and these pocket pieces are for the back of the pants. And then this piece is basically just a scrap piece of fabric that I saved, and we're going to be using the scrap piece to make belt loops later. Now, before we start sewing up these pants, I want to take a minute and talk about today's sponsor, Skillshare. So Skillshare is a huge online learning community that offers thousands of creative classes, and there are so many to choose from, like painting, photography, editing, filming, like just a huge variety. You can search for whatever classes you want to take. With so many classes to choose from, there are always new ones that are going to catch your eye, like this one that I found recently by Lacey Jordan. It's called Digital Illustration for All: Discover, Cultivate, and Share Your Unique Personal Style. Now, I was really drawn to this class because of Lacey's bright style, and she takes you through all of the steps on how she creates her bold illustrations. Skillshare is made specifically for learning, so that means that there are no ads, and they are always launching new premium classes. And the first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in my description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare so you guys can explore your creativity. Thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video, and now it is back to sewing. Okay, so it's finally time to start sewing the pants. And whenever I cut out pants patterns, I always make them bigger than I think I'm going to need them. Just because I found that I get the best fit when I'm making pants when I kind of sew the basic shapes together, and then I try them on inside out and I kind of pin them to have the exact fit that I want. But before we get to that, we need to assemble the pockets on the front pieces. So the pieces we're going to work with first are the front and the 2 pocket pieces. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the ones that have the cutout, these ones, and I'm going to take 1 layer and 1 front piece, and I'm going to pin together and sew these 2 pieces together right around this curve. And around this sewn edge, I'm going to put a few notches into it so we can turn this edge out easier. So I'm just going to put a few little cuts around the curve, not hitting the seam that we just sewed. And now we're going to take this pocket and flip it to the other side. And then I'm going to fold over and pin all these edges so they look nice and flat. And then I'm just going to top stitch around this edge. And sometimes when I'm doing top stitching on pants, I'll do 2 parallel stitches just to give it a little bit more detailing. And now that this edge is sewn, we're going to take the other pocket piece, and the side with the curved edge goes against the side of the pants. So I'm actually going to flip this piece over and put this one on top. And I'm going to pin these 2 pocket edges together down this side and this side. And we're going to sew around these edges, but you want to make sure that you're lifting this piece up so you're not actually catching any of the pant piece, you're just sewing the 2 pocket layers together. But before I sew those pieces, I always like to make sure that the lines match up on the front where the cutout is, so it kind of makes the pocket look invisible. But if you're not as much of a perfectionist as I am, you don't have to worry about matching these pieces up in the front. And the last steps on the pockets is just to add a little basting stitch across the top edge where the pocket overlaps, and also one down the side here, and this just keeps it in place when we sew the pant pieces together. And now we have a super gigantic pant pocket! This is like honestly the best part of making your own pants, is you can make the pockets as gigantic as you want them. Both of the fronts now have pockets, so it's time to put the front and back pieces together. So I'm going to take one front piece and one back piece and make sure that they're the corresponding ones that go together. And I'm going to lay these down pretty side to pretty side. And so basically right now we're going to sew both of the side seams together. So we're going to lay this one pretty side up and put this one pretty side down. And I'm going to match up and pin together these pieces down both of these sides here. And because I'm working with a gingham fabric, I'm going to try really hard to match up all of my stripes. But again, if you're not as picky as I am, you don't have to do this. Honestly, I just think like matching up all the seams is like a fun challenge, so I usually try to do my best at it. And I'm going to sew down either side here, all down the pant leg. Yay, the lines match up! It's so satisfying. And after you sew up the side seams, you should have two pant legs. And the next step is we're going to put these two pant legs together. So I turned one of my pant legs right side out and I kept the other one inside out. And now basically I'm going to put the one that is right side out inside of the one that is inside out. So on the front part that is still open here, that's where we want to sew these pieces together next. So I'm going to put my hand through the inside out pant leg and grab the right side out pant leg. And then pretty sides to pretty sides, I'm going to pin them together around that curved edge. When I get to the front, however, though, this weird looking flap is for the fly. So I'm going to continue this curved edge about a half an inch or an inch into the fly. And I'm going to stop right here. So I'm not going to sew up into the fly just yet. We're going to sew all around the curve and just stop at this point here. And now that that's been sewn, you can undo the pants. And you should actually have something that's starting to look like pants finally. And now is the very exciting time of we can finally go try them on. Okay, so here is the first look of the pants and I'm already very excited about them. But right now they are very gigantic as I expected them to be. And like I mentioned, this just lets me like adjust them exactly the way I want them once they're on me. It makes them a little bit more comfortable once they're done. Oh, and also on the front, I just pinned straight up from where we stopped sewing because we're going to use this flap for the fly and this isn't actually where it's going to be sewn. So the place I think I'm going to be taking in the most fabric is in the back. So I'm going to just put a few pins in here to gather this fabric up. And now that they are pinned in the back, I think I'm also going to take in a little bit extra fabric on the sides as well. Okay, so that already fits a lot better with those pins. And now the last part I want to adjust is the gigantic pant legs, because right now these are very, very wide. And I thought I wanted them pretty wide, but I actually think I want to slim them down a bit. So I'm just going to put a few pins down the sides where I want to take them in. And then I'm going to take this all off and sew it all. Much better! They're so cute! Now that the pants fit a lot better, it's time to start working on the fly. And for the fly, you're also going to need a zipper. So this one is 6 inches and I just got it from Joann's. And the first step of this is we're going to have to add in some basting stitches. So from where we stopped sewing on the fly, we're basically just going to put a basting stitch connecting from this line all the way up. And you don't want to go like into the fly at all, you just want to continue this line all the way up to the waist. And now that this part has been sewn up, we're going to open up the fly right here. And then we're going to take our zipper. And so we want to flip our zipper over onto the back side. And I'm going to line up the edge of the zipper right where the basting stitches are that we just sewed. You also want to make sure that the bottom of the zipper is also where the basting stitches start. So you can also flip it over like this to make this a little bit flatter. And then I'm just going to put pins along the right side of the zipper. Now I'm just going to sew on the right side of the zipper all the way down. And I'm also going to use a zipper foot for this step just so we can get a little bit closer to that line. And it's also super important for this step that you're not sewing through the pants, you're just sewing through that little fly flap. And now that the zipper has been sewn to the right side, we're going to lift up the left side, fold it over, and I'm going to pin the zipper to the left side of the flap and sew it down again. And once again, you only want to sew on the flap, not on the actual pants. And now I have turned the pants back right side out, and the next step on the fly is just to do the little classic top stitching. And I've also pushed the zipper to the right side, and now I'm just going to start here where the basting stitches start, curve up, and stitch all the way up here. And again, I think I'm going to do 2 parallel lines just so we get that cute little detailing. And now is the very exciting time of taking out the basting stitches to see how the fly turned out. So just as the last little detail of the fly, when you usually buy pants, when you have a fly, it doesn't just open up like this. There's a little flap here. So that's why we cut out this little piece, and this is the straight one that has the little curved edge here. And right now I'm just going to sew all around this piece, except for the top edge so we can turn it right side out. And now you should have this little flap piece. And so now I'm going to take our pants, open this section up, and the straight edge of this is going to go against the side that opens up. And I'm just going to pin it along this edge and top stitch it down. And now when you open up the zipper, it looks very professional. The next step we're going to work on is the waistband finally. And what I went ahead and did is I folded the waistband over in half and I just pinned it all around the top edge of the pants where I want it to go. And this is just to see how long we actually need this waistband piece to be. And then once I got to the ends of the pants, I just put a little pin sideways to mark the start and stop. And now I'm going to unpin this whole thing and sew right across those edges. And now we're going to take this piece to the iron. I turned the waistband to the pretty side so that we can iron down the sewn edges, and you just want to fold this piece in half. Now I'm just folding up the bottom edges in a little bit so that the finished length of the waistband is going to be 1.5 inches. And you want to fold the waistband in on either side and just press this really nice and flat. And this is what it should look like once it's done. So we're going to want to try the pants on one more time here so that we can check where we want the waistband to hit. So the back of my pants actually goes up pretty high. I usually do this so that we don't accidentally cut it too low, which is like a really annoying problem. So I just pinned the waistband around where I actually want it to hit, and then I folded the pants down. And then I also added some pins right where the waistband hits on the side seam so we can mark that later. And I'm really happy with this fit right now, so I think I'm going to take them off and I'm going to cut the seam about 1/2 inch above where they hit the waistband. So we have enough room to sew the pants to the waistband. And now we're going to take all of the pins out of the waistband, except for the ones that mark the side seams because we want to keep those in for the next step. So the reason why we marked at the side seams is because we want to take this waistband in a little bit so it'll lay a little bit snugger against our waist. So I'm just going to move this pin so it's only through one layer so we can open it up, and I'm going to fold this piece in half like this. And I'm just going to sew a little triangle in this area so that it's a little bit smaller at our waist. So I just don't want to catch any fabric right at the ends because we don't want to make this any smaller. You just want to bring it in at the waist a little bit. And now when you turn this piece out again, it just has a very slight diagonal that'll make it fit a little bit better on our waist. And now we can finally put the waistband to the pants. So the first parts I'm going to pin together are actually the side seams, so we can line up the part that we just sewed right on the seam. So I'm just going to open up the waistband, lay the pants down on top of it, and then fold the waistband back over and pin it. And once the side seams are pinned, I'm going to undo the fly. And when you're connecting this part, you want to make sure that you don't put the waistband past where the zipper stops. You want to do that before. And then I'm just going to keep pinning the waistband all around the pants. And now I'm just going to sew along the bottom edge of the waistband all the way around. Next up on the waistband, we have to put the little button that finishes it up. So we're going to need our buttonhole foot, which looks like this. And I've chosen this button to use, so I'm just going to open up this little sliding area, put this button in, and close it. And this is so that the machine knows how big to make our buttonhole. And now I'm going to take off my machine foot and put this one on. And then I'm just going to pull down this little back piece right here. Now I'm going to switch my machine onto a buttonhole stitch. And I marked where I want my buttonhole to start. And you want to do it on the piece that has the fly on it. This is the front one. And I'm going to line up my machine so that it starts right where that pin is. And I want this to be centered in the waistband. And once it's in place, you can just push down on the presser foot and let the machine go. And now to open it up, you're just going to use a seam ripper to rip it open very, very carefully so you don't accidentally rip through it. And now that we have our buttonhole, we need to add a button to the waistband. So I'm going to zip this up so that we can see where these line up. Make sure it's nice and flat. And then I'm going to take a water-soluble pencil and just put a little mark through the buttonhole so we know where to place our button. And the button I'm using is kind of a special one because you actually have to nail it together. But you can totally hand stitch a button on if you want to. I just decided to use this one today. We're getting pretty close to finishing these pants and I'm so hyped about them. They look so cool. And I think next we should work on doing the belt loops. So this is just a big scrap piece that I showed you guys that I cut out. And basically I'm just going to fold it in half and sew pretty close to the folded edge all the way across it, trim down the raw edge, flip this piece right side out, and then we can add 2 parallel stitches across the top just for some little extra detailing. Now I'm going to take this long strip and I'm going to cut it into 5 even pieces so that we have enough for our belt loops. So 2 of them are going to go a little bit inside of where the pocket starts. 2 of them are going to go on the back a little bit past where the side seam is, and then 1 of them is going to go down the center of the back. I'm going to sew them to the top of the waistband first, and I'm just going to fold down one of the raw edges and pin it where I want it to go. And I'm going to pin all of these to the top first. So I'm just going to put a few stitches back and forth across all of the tops to hold these in place. And now where I've sewn all of the top belt loops, I'm going to fold up the bottom. And I'm pretty much going to do the same exact thing. You usually just want the belt loop to go a little bit past the waistband. Belt loops! Now we're going to work on the little back pocket pieces. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to hem the top edge of them. And now I'm going to take these pieces to the iron. So right now I'm just folding all of the raw edges of the pockets in on themselves so we can top stitch these pockets onto the pants. I just pinned down the pockets and tried on the pants to make sure I like the way they fit. And I'm just going to put 2 top stitches around the sides of it, making sure to leave the top open so we can put our hand through it. These pants are looking amazing, and the very last step that I have to do on them is just add a little hem all around the bottom. And like I mentioned, I hate making my pants too short by accident, so I cut these extra long, so you can cut them if you need to, and then just add a little hem around them. I'm also now going to do some zigzag stitches across the raw edges to help with all of the fraying. And these are the finished pants. These pants are just so fun, and honestly my favorite way to style them is with this corset top because it feels extremely fairy core to me and I'm just absolutely living for the vibes. And pants are definitely one of those things that can be pretty tricky to sew, but I'm really happy with how this pair turned out and I think they fit me really, really well. And that's why I like to do the kind of cutting them big and adjusting them to yourselves method, because you can just get a much nicer fit that way. And the pockets and the fly and the belt loops, like, ooh, she's looking so snazzy, you guys. These look so professional. I just love how they turned out. I really hope you guys give this tutorial a try. And if you do, you can always send me a picture on Instagram. And just thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys back here next week with a new video, so stay tuned. Bye!